hinder this Ven, but now they have a Legion who looks great this game.
Yeah, I'm liking the Legion Commander as well. It also means that you need to be super selective about... Oh, God, no. Oh, no.
So we're going, what, we're going 90 minutes?
Hold on, let me change my background.
What, the Stonks rising?
No.
No. Fire.
Yes.
Alright, so...
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, techies. What?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go 90 minutes.
I'm never ready. I am never ready for a techies. Just get this hero out of my game.
Team ban.
Well,
I mean, I guess they know that T1 are going to try and be aggressive, and they're going to be trying to make a lot of these movements. Just park Treant Protector in one lane, keep that constantly shoved out, and then use the rest of the team to eventually roam and try and make stuff happen. But if you've got a good enough techies, they can just mine up all the entry points to your jungle, particularly the ancient camp area. So you know that Sven's never going to be able to just have his creeps sniped, basically. You're always going to know, even through a smoke, that someone's trying to put a deep observer ward up, or they're trying to come and gank it, steal it. It's an okay pick. I just hate the hero.
yeah, I think there are a couple teams that are able to play it incredibly well, like incredibly well. Players in particular, you know, we've seen CIS. They were one of the first few, at least the region, to really understand it. China picked it up a couple times, XinQ for the LGD, so I'm excited to see at least how Fnatic are able to play it here. But are you worried that Fnatic might not be able to take towers early against the Treant Protector? Because he's a hero who very much relies on keeping your tier 1s alive for as long as possible with the living armor. So do you think Fnatic with this last pick need to go for someone who can help them at least take objectives?
Is it leaning too far into being passive? That's what I'm looking into right now, because you can see they're banning out some of these heroes that are great at taking things, right? We talk about the steroids. Invoker for giving the alacrity to PA would have been fantastic, building into a Deso. TA, obviously, great at taking towers. For Fnatic, I think
10 seconds remaining.
For them, they don't really need to worry all that much super early on with the Treant Protector. It's just all about getting farm into this Sven. If he gets his farm, they're happy. Even if they've taken absolutely 0 tier 1 towers, they're going to be happy with how things have turned out.
What if Fnatic?
Nice, but yeah.
I like the Tiny ban. Tiny's been, well, you've already got Tiny Io potentially. More likely, Sven's going to use that Io, but a mid lane hero who can have the burst potential to bring down the Phantom Assassin and get involved early. And it's also kind of the combo, like Mag and Tiny, one of the best ones to really utilize that techies on the team.
Maybe, oh, you mean like just relocating someone into the mines?
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, there's your...
Bit of a new hero, PogChamp, I guess, but I mean, it's a Moon specialty as well. It's something that he's very comfortable with. I guess they just want 3 really beefy cores that are going to hopefully be able to withstand a lot of what PA is able to do. But we've seen, you know, when you've got this PA Slardar combination, even something like a Timbersaw that's naturally very tanky, he doesn't do all that much against being able to withstand all that much. It gives them some tower push. They are super cooldown reliant, though, outside of this Legion Commander. That's the one thing I'm a little worried about. So
I think maybe the DK, again, it gives them tower push, but it also kind of, they didn't have a lot of initiation. The Legion can, but the stuns, so they could have been vulnerable to like a high mobility hero coming through from T1 in the mid lane. They can still put the Snapfire there if they want to, or have the Slardar Snap lane, which is going to be able to brawl at a very high rate. But at least, you know, the DK Sven's going to have a decent amount of armor, even though they are against the Slardar Phantom Assassin. So they go for an Enchantress in the in this last pick.
So yeah, it's going to be snap mid. I don't mind it at all, right? You're always going to get the Dragon Blood, so you're going to have plenty of armor. He's going to be able to deal with it quite nicely on the Snapfire. That burst damage coming through from the Scatterblast is super effective. And Slardar Treant Protector is no slouch of a lane either. Lots of slows. You can just get more of those hits off, get your Bash of the Deep, just keep them within the Nature's Grasp. It's not too bad. I don't even think they need to put that much emphasis onto skilling up the living armor past 1. You know, you can go this this full ganking style. Obviously, leveling up your Nature's Grasp as much as you can, but the Leech Seed's going to be pretty damn impactful as well.
So what's the thought process for T1 wanting to last pick the Enchantress here?
5 seconds
Just making sure that
remaining.
Jackie can have the best lane possible. It's got high movement speed, so you're going to be able to scout out these the techies' mines without actually, falling prey to any sort of turnaround potential on top of you. So it's a lot of extra money that way. You can even get your own, you can get up some creeps. You can enchant some creeps, run them into the mines as well to clear out some space, just make it a little bit safer for you. And yeah, I think it just goes back to, at the very basics, Jackie needs a good lane. They need to try and make these aggressive plays super early and avoid the mines. So I think Enchantress is pretty damn good for that.
Well, the draft is set here between Fnatic and T1 in our second game. If you had to pick a team, even though unfortunately there is a techies, we see the Sven, Io, and Slaughter PA, so a couple of the super strong meta heroes at the moment. But if you had to choose a team, which one's the team to choose?
I honestly can't split these two, really. I think the techies is going to be really good for what we were talking about before in protecting the farm coming through. So let me see if they go and try any tri lanes or anything like that to start with. Then I'll give you my my decision.
Okay. See here with we got a bit of a pause. It's going to take a little bit longer to see how the tri lane's set up, but I mean the last techies game I saw went what, like 90 minutes or something. I think 85 actually. So we could be in for a long one here.
That was the Chinese region, right?
Yeah, that was quite the long game, to say the least. And then the next series they had like 153,000 net worth lead. It was some crazy stuff. But we'll see if Jabs is gonna make this one get stalled out a little bit or not. But I think at least with the Dragonite, I want to see how Moon is able to utilize the early Elder Dragon forms. I think this is the big factor here. Really, if they can try and take these early towers before the side of T1 are at a stage where they feel comfortable with being able to defend them, because you need to when you have a Treant Protector.
That is true. I do not know. What is that 555 going on? I think that means like some sort of laughing, maybe, in
Do not know.
some languages.
This is we can just guess what it is, but
Oh, we can guess, and I can also use Google Translate on my phone.
it's true.
So let's have a quick look. Hopefully it's everything, above board.
Carl. That's so funny. Did you see what he said?
No, what did he say?
He said, "I miss carrying you, Sven." Talking to poor old Sven. God damn it. Yeah, all chatting coming through. Looks like hopefully, yeah, we got the G's. So we should be underway pretty shortly here. But Fnatic, if they're going to be able to take this series 2-0, this is going to be massive for them, considering they've looking to get further pushed up in the groups here. They've already played a couple of difficult teams, so their later games are going to be a much more of an easier run. But once again, we see DJ on a hero where it's going to be very, very high mechanically gifted, just high skill, I should say. So we're going to hopefully see DJ be able to thrive, and I'm excited to see. And there's a reason why teams do ban out the IO, especially against them.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just a busted hero in general, conceptually broken. But, nice little Quelling Blade usage as well around this Radiant Tricamp, just clearing out a lot of the vision through here. Let some interesting wards come through that are much less obvious to be dewarded.
A lot of pings we got right now. Did they see Radiant put the ward there? I don't think they did, so only got there fast enough for the Mastros. We'll see he's able to play with the Legion as well. Got to keep in mind, the new team, they gave him, had an incredible Tidehunter performance last game. They pick up his Legion a little bit earlier on. We were kind of, guessing in the first couple of days, day 1 and day 2 of Fnatic, we're really going to prioritize his hero throughout the later stages of the draft. But when you have this 4th pick, you can pick that and then have a couple bands to protect it. But Raven, look at the stun on 2. Jabs follows up. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Just the combo set up. You know, they get a couple of bounties as well. They might even be able to get the one on the high ground that no one's set up for just yet. Oh no.
So I'll be real. I was leaning towards T1, but with that kill, I'm going to say Fnatic is my prediction to win.
Bit late. They got first blood and 3 bounties. That's kind of cheating.
Well, I don't care what you think,
Oh,
Gary.
well. All right, well, you know, I'm going to go T1. I believe in them. Just...
It's so even, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just going to come down to, like, minor executions. And honestly, I feel like Jabs is going to decide how this game goes. Jabs and Whitemon, they're the ones to watch just for the vision game, the information game. That's going to be how this game's decided.
And intrigued to see how the supports are going to be able to play. You already see just your Whitemon battling out over Jabs. I mean, the tech is not really going to be able to do too much to kind of trade with this Enchantress. So hopefully this will give Jackie a relatively strong time with the Phantom Assassin. And, you know, we see Carl on one of his better heroes as well with the Snapfire. I've always seen him absolutely dominate. And Moon, he's also on a super comfort hero as well with the Dragon Knight, who doesn't get picked up much.
No, he doesn't. I think he's just way too passive, way too cooldown reliant for this style of meta right now. But if you've already kind of gone into that boat of having an IO and a Sven, you're like, well, we've got a techies, we can stall out the game, so you know, just can rely on DK being this unkillable frontliner for us.
You see how the tree and the Slardar is playing the lane so far as well. I mean, Zephyr just, you know, with that grasp, he's got the point in the W with the Leech Seed, and now they're really going to be able to put the pressure on. Once Cuckoo gets an extra point, if he goes for that 2 in the bash at level 3, then you know, they are really going to start dishing out the damage here. So you know, DJ is going to have to be pretty careful with his positioning, and you know, it's also the Sven against the melee matchup. At least they have an immense amount of sustain though with the help of the IO. But yeah, they're going to go in crushed up. Raven falling pretty low here. Just the slows that are coming out, and Zephyr with the last right click, he's got so much base damage. So T1, they're going to be able to find their first kill of the game down at the bottom side of the map.
Nicely done. Jabs has just done a little bit of a mission. He's going to suicide himself after taking care of the courier. Nicely done by Whitemon to prevent a lot of this harass that might be otherwise coming out onto Jackie. He also was good to buy a couple of sentry wards at the start of the game, so now this camp is available for him to take the Hellbear Smasher. He's going to look to put a lot more harass in onto the Legion Commander.
Mid lane, it's going to be pretty passive here, I imagine. Carl should be able to get a lot out of it. We'll see, again, what Moon's rotations are really going to fare. We'll see a lot more aggression from the side lanes, and honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Techies, you know, has to kind of do something about heading to bot eventually, because you don't have a way to be able to set up with the Suicide Blast. That's the annoying thing up top. So it looks like he's actually just going to take the small stack away from Whitemon, which is going to feel nice, because now you can't get that pullback, but you know, at least the lanes are in a relatively good spot for Jackie, as they are kind of finding Slaughter, but he's alright.
Why does this hero exist, Ares? Why is Techies a thing?
What do you mean? He's the funnest hero to play in the game. Surely that's... No, just not even going to try and play around with the idea of him being super fun.
In, like, a TI show match. Sure. That is it.
No, we can see him TI Grand Finals, Game 5, and Techies just pops off. Well, maybe we'll see a Techies carry one day with, what is it, 251 damage at level 25? Surely.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get to that stage.
Yeah, well... Maybe he gets to level 30. Mastros top, falling low in the jungle. For that tree line, I should say. I mean, he didn't have the techies with him. He's going to try and cut through the trees. See how much he's going to be able to utilize with this Quelling Blade here. He's going to go for a TP out now, but still Jackie's got the Phantom Strike, and with the dagger, there's just enough damage to be able to stop him from connecting with the TP. So, nicely done. It's going to give Jackie... He's already having a really good start. 26 and 4. A kill for him as well.
Thing is, with the techies, you always want to be playing that little bit more greedy, right? Just getting your own farm, walking off into the jungle, getting your own stacks, and typically a Legion Commander is very fine with that situation once you get your first couple of levels, just because of how strong you are.
Dead mid, actually. Carl, he's done some incredible body blocks there, but Moon, he's still. That was such a cute play. It was going to be really close if he got it or not, considering he tried to body block the DK with the invis before he got up on the high ground, but DK's already got 2 points in the Dragon Blood, so just that regen took him about what, like 4 seconds to get up the high ground. So
and Jackie's continuing to just farm up, getting richer and richer. You've got a Satyr Tormentor following around Masaros, so he's kind of confused right now about, well, where the hell can I go? You know, Whitemon's taken the jungle, Jackie's taken the lane, and my techies is nowhere to be seen.
This might get to the stage where Jab's potentially going to try and take some stacks. That's what we do see on the techies at a decent amount, where just try and really suicide at a high rate in the lane, put as much pressure as possible. He's actually trying to cut, so he's going to take the creeps here, and it looks like maybe the Legion? What's he doing?
Oh, Legion might be in trouble here.
Looks like he is in very, very big trouble. They're going to try and chase him underneath the tower with the last impetus, and right click from Zephyr. That's going to help out there. So that's a nice kill, and they kind of know at least the positioning from him because of what Jabs is doing right now. Like, he's cutting the creeps, so it means Masteros has to kind of be somewhere else but the lane.
And on top of that, you've got, like I mentioned before, this vision game. Whitemon's here. He's been able to... What creep did he take? Oh, he took the Wildwing Ripper. So he wants to farm up as much of these stacks as possible, take that away from the Sven before Jabs is actually able to get the defensive perimeter up. They also know about this Ancients. It's only one stack, but still, power of info.
See, no, he's right. So there is, the movements now coming through from the supports. You take a look at the vision that they have. Whitemon dropping one down by the triangle. Jabs able to get it, not denied from Whitemon, but he's still in trouble actually. I mean, he's got the suicide. The deny will come through, but they are thinking about wrapping on Moon. They really want to put some pressure on, knowing that DK not popping the ultimate, and if they can actually find the kill because they got the bottom of kisses, Moon's gonna have to run to Carl to try and stun him up, but he just takes way too much damage before he does that.
And pop the Elder Dragon form.
And now that's on cooldown for 105 seconds, so pretty much ulti for nothing, and it's really now gonna limit their opportunity to be able to take these towers early.
T1 having a very good start. I should have known. I should have never picked the techies.
Radiant's middle tower
You got sucked into the first blood here. Oh, Raven as well, trying to take a stack, but looks like this double support here from Dire just going to try and soak up as much experience as they can. They're even TPing Moon in though. Oh, the
stun.
Not that it does too much, but let's see what they can do. Stuns up. Raven's going to have the follow up in the Storm Hammer, so Train Protector will end up falling. Moon helping out, getting involved. Meanwhile, Masteros is trying to soak up some experience and get some last hits mid, but this is completely leaving Jackie to free farm, and you got to be a bit worried. The thing about this Ven, at least you don't have to go for an item to be able to find your farm, whereas the Phantom Assassin needs to in the Battle Fury, but the fact that he's doing so well.
Man, Whitemon is just being such a pain. The Centaur Conqueror, they finally end up killing it, but with it, he blocked the camp, he stunned them 3 times just to slow down the farm a little bit more and more for Ravens. So he's doing a fantastic job on this Enchantress so far. Even just dropping the Sentry Ward down here into this this camp right next to the tier 2 mid tower. So more and more and more he's just getting.
Really just trying to honestly enable the Phantom Assassin as much as possible, just limit how much farm Fnatic are going to be able to find, and we still see they trying to make some ancient stacks here from at least for the Sven, who's going to TP out. He's going to see that this camp going to be blocked at least, so that will be well, he's not going to be able to farm it now, waste a little bit of time. So now, and you see the rotations coming through for T1. They're actually the ones to try and put some pressure on the tower. Carl with the DD. Radiant, what can they do to try and bring the numbers to contest this? Because right now they need to do something. This tower's fallen a decent amount of damage here.
Oh, they tried for the cookie stun with the creep, but nicely done by Moon to be able to stop that. I mean, we always say the mid tier 1 tower is important. That is especially so for this game, because if that's gone, it's so much easier to invade into the jungle. You can see there, Raven's making a beeline along with DJ to make sure he takes this ancient stack, as well as the hard camp that they've booked up for him.
Whitemon might be able to just get in range to get some experience, but they have the ward in the river, so they're well aware of his positioning right now. Raven's already used that Storm Hammer, still slowed up that he is. Even the rest of T1, can they get here in time? It looks like just Zephyr face checking and the slow so they won't follow up. At least Radiant, they do
Radiant's
get those
bottom
stacks though,
tower
which
is
is the
under
important
attack.
thing. Meanwhile though, Cuckoo actually should be able to solo kill up Jabs. Oh, no.
Radiant's middle tower is
Suicide
under
just in the nick of time there. So, I mean, I guess Techies is down for 20, but you don't get the kill.
Don't get the
Radiant's
kill.
bottom
He's got into
tower
the
is
Battle
under
Fury on the
attack.
PA, so I suppose
Dire's
just not
top
going all
tower
out
is
onto
under
this early
attack.
game. You know, if it does eventually get to that later stages because of the work being done by the
Radiant's
techies,
middle tower
then
is under
he's got
attack.
some sort of comeback potential. Still going to be a little tough for him though. And this tier 1 tower, it is donezo.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They
Radiant's
trade
middle
top
tower
for
has
mid,
fallen.
which doesn't feel overly great. Although, again, that is Dire losing a tower though. When they, even though they get that mid tower, you've got a
Radiant's
Treant
bottom
Protector, so
tower
trying to
is
keep it
under
alive
attack.
does feel pretty important. But at least it's now going to
Radiant's
give. Is that
structures
worth
are
it, honestly?
fortified.
I know how important mid is,
Dire's
but I also know
structures
how
are
important
fortified.
taking protecting your towers with the tree is.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I was talking about in the draft, where he hasn't opted to put any points into the living armor.
Yep.
He's just saying like, look, this might very much be the dead lane for me right now, but I'm a Treant Protector. I don't really care all that much. I'm still just going to be able to push this out. So if there was any tower to lose, it was this one. He just lose 3 range creeps getting denied by Masteros though.
It's always not fun when you can just that grass not being able to really nuke it down, and you just get range creeps denied dead in your face as mid lane. Dragon Eye might be in trouble here, but the sun sets up with the glove follow up as well. Moon doesn't have, well, actually he's got Ire coming forward. DJ as well with the relocate if they want to try and disengage here. Moon will still end up falling to the scatter blast, so they thought they could just keep the sustain rolling so he could run himself away, but now it looks like they're chasing for more.
Radiant's
Cuckoo,
bottom
unfortunately, the
tower
pathing
is
doesn't
under
find that
attack.
cookie follow-up. But they get another big kill on the Dragon Knight here. That's 2 deaths for him already, and you know, this is a hero that does not farm overly fast. Man,
So what have we
PA's
got
gonna
here?
have such a good timing on the Battle Fury.
Yeah, pretty damn effective. He's just trying to harass Masteros here up on the top side against Zephyr. He knows that he's not under any sort of risk of dying, at least until he hears that that beeping of the Wisp relocate starting to head his way. But Raven not quite in the position yet to do it. Well, I say that.
Well, it's a very early duel, but here comes the relocate, so they don't get that bonus damage. They get the kill nonetheless, but meanwhile, they're gonna try and find the Ire that's coming back. Let's see if they bring the Sven as well. Like, Ire's just gonna be ultra dead. So it's a kill for a kill. But I mean, Zephyr's just like, he's, you know, they don't get the jewel out of it, so that's always, you're not getting the increased damage for the scaling potential. And then Tree's just playing the dead lane. Like, he knows eventually he's going to end up falling. Whatever you can get, you're happy with. And meanwhile, Jackie's already got a Battle Fury, man. What a good timing.
Hasn't even had anyone stacking up Ancients for him either, so this is all off the back of himself. Goes to show why T1 was so keen to secure his services.
Dire's
Yeah,
bottom
the
tower
farming
is under
efficiency
attack.
that Jackie has, you know, one of the better carries coming through at the moment, and see the prowess that he has on some of the position ones is see how this game is going to end up continuing for him. But Mastros is in a bit of trouble here. He's getting hunted down up top.
Moon in mid as well.
Try and bring him down. I mean, it's just Whitemon and Cuckoo at the moment. Raven's going to be able to come over, holds it back with a Stormhammer. Even Masteros, yeah, he's still going to get chased down to claim it. Now Ire tethering through Raven. As the Gods don't think he wants to pop it, but the cold control's not there at the moment, considering how
Dire's
speedy
bottom
Cuckoo
tower
is. So
under attack.
Masteros unfortunately just feeds a kill over to the Phantom Assassin, running to the triangle, and they don't die mid as well.
Where's Jeb's off to? What's the situation like with these remote mines as well? Looks like there's a few proximity mines here underneath the tier 1 tower, behind the tower.
I guess see if they can bait them into a dive, potentially down bot. I mean, that feels like that's the only spot they can really take a fight at them. There's already an Aghanims as well. Oh my lord. I mean, Dire just, they've got a 4,000 net worth lead, and they are really going to try and use these items now. You see they smoke up. Cuckoo's got Treads, Bracer, Hood, so he's going to be incredibly tanky. We are finally seeing Jabs kind of posture around the triangle to drop some mines just to protect this Ven. This is something that you highlighted, that it was going to be pretty difficult for T1 to infiltrate, but they might still find Raven though. Pops the ultimate, just melts through the Enchantress now with the gobble up, stuns up. Cuckoo's going to try and do it with the Io instantly, and now Raven, he doesn't have this buff up, but he's going to buy back. They get the jewel on top of the backline as well. On Carl, he's in trouble here. The stun holds the Slaughter, so he can't get some protection in the crush. Now Carl's going to get chased down. Jabs will claim it with the blast off. Now Cuckoo, if he can run away here, got the TP, he's alright. Looks like Zephyr actually... Oh, no, he's going to run to the status trap, and Jabs gets an extra. Oh, nicely done.
Easy money coming through from him. Did force the buyback out of Jabs, but... I don't know if that's worth it. Giving up the Snapfire as well, sorry, the Treant as well at the end of all that means that it's going much more in T1's favor now. I thought that it was just all alright then about creating space for Jackie, allowing him to get this Desolator ASAP, but he ended up using the TP anyway to try and come and join the fight. Is he in trouble a little bit here? I suppose they don't have relocate, so he's not hugely concerned, but it's still another 10-15 seconds on his TP scroll, and Sven Io duo are heading his way.
See at the moment though, T1 still being able to hold a 4,000 net worth lead. The issue is that just the farm on the rest of the cores here from Fnatic is really lacking at the moment. That the Legion and the Dragon Knight unable to kind of keep up with the farm that this Ven is been able to dish out here. I guess Moon, he does have a Blink and Legion with the Blade Mail, so they're kind of first real items here. We'll see how that's going to be able to impact through their fights. Jabs though, mid. Might just get solo killed from Whitemon, considering he's got this Centaur Conqueror. Uses it early, but it's not going to matter with the Impetus level 3, so the cooldown here even now picks up an extra point in it, so 0 cooldown now.
They've got a little bit of additional help now. Zephyr's hit up onto level 8, so he's got that 1 point in the living armor. Generally, it's either level 4 or level 8 that you go at, but just valuing the doubling the damage from the Leech Seed, from that extra value point there.
Bottom tower has fallen.
So, looking to see people be a lot more sustainable in team fights right now. You're essentially giving them a free chainmail. There it is. Popped onto Whitemon. Doesn't have the Nature's Attendants to heal himself, but it should probably still drop down anyway.
Oh nice,
no, they
gobble
gobble
up. But no, the mines are... Carl's got to be careful. Can they still get the dual victory with the relocate? They'll wrap through. T1, Cuckoo's thinking about going in. They've got the death, so you got to be careful. They might get picked off with this minus armor just burst through. They're going to go forward. Jackie instantly brings down Masteros. Still hunting though. Raven showing the lane. DJ doesn't have to relocate, so Jackie's going to move forward, but without a blink at the moment here on these other two heroes next to him, they won't have that catch up, although they still have the ward, so they might actually see Raven farming the hard camp if he does do this. Raven? He's alright, going to the triangle camp instead. Okay.
You always love seeing that tilt reaction against the techies, right? You die, 3 sentry wards purchased immediately.
Well, speaking about the techies, Jabs doesn't have too many mines. It's not going to bring down Cuckoo here. He's just... This is the threat of the techies though. Like, killing him is so awkward. He's got a force, can always suicide, and I guess they didn't have vision in the back as well. So you kind of knew Raven and Io were in that area. And the Enchantress, you highlighted how much vision that Whitemon's going to be able to provide. Just constantly seeing like the Centaur Conqueror running deep in the line, scouting out where they're farming.
These are 3 really close observer wards to each other, by the way, in the Radiant jungle. What's going on there?
Well,
the middle one's probably a misplace with the sentry ward being popped down.
they might try and have to force a fight down bot then, considering, because they don't have... They got a ward in their top side of the jungle, but really needing to make sure they kind of play around their vision advantage, considering they placed 3 as well. So it's going to feel a little bit wasted there if they don't use too much. Probably waiting for the Phantom Assassin BKB, who... Jackie's got the Mithril Hammer. So they are grouping up at the moment here from T1. Going to try and de-ward around the river, knowing that Roshan could be a potential objective as well, as they're actually going to walk in the pit for Radiant. Well aware of this. Rosh is falling pretty low here. How can they get in? Mastros without the blink. They're just going to try and run. Raven's got the Silver's Edge as well. But his Sentra's already there. They get the crush thanks to the vision. Now the Age is going to get picked up as well. They still get the jewel. Look at the damage coming out from Raven. Now with the overgrowth. More of the kisses. They're stuck in the choke point. They won't be able to cancel off the kisses. And now Moon's going to pay the price as well. 3 down from Fnatic. Tries to help out there from the Io, but unfortunately won't be able to do so. And now it's going to cost him his life as well. What an incredible fight there from T1. Just recognizing The sentries in front of that Roche pit, so important here. And, you know, tried to slither in with the Silver's Edge. We just see a beautiful choke point fight as well with the overgrowth, with the kisses. They went to work.
He's like, oh, what's that? We can't go into your tri-camp area. Well, that's probably not the actual objective that we want,
Radiant's
buddy.
top
But
tower is under
we'll take
attack.
Roche instead. You know, immediately
Radiant's
using the
structures
Aegis, but
are
well
fortified.
worth it to get that 4 kills onto Fnatic's
There you go.
heroes.
Come on. He's still pushing up forward here. Blast off one more right click, unfortunately. Doesn't get the deny. Now, Masros as well is going to try and kill off the Enchantress. Cuckoo's going to get an exit bash. Is it enough to expire with the dual victory? And it looks like it is. And now Masros going to be careful as well. But Raven showing up. Doesn't have the God Strength. And now Carl's going to come through as well. Gets the gobble. Going to send it flying on forward. Gets the connection, but it's just a neutral. So little Mud Golem's going to run themselves away. But you just see Fnatic, unfortunately. The plays coming through. That unable to find the damage right now on the Legion. He's only got 10.
It's this really weird interaction as well. So have a look at those Mud Golems that were just used. If a Snapfire gobbles up a completed Mud Golem and spits it, the Shard Golems are like allied to your team, but you can't control them and you can't kill them. So you're just kind of left there, and the only way that they can go away is if they expire or if the enemy team gets rid of them.
Huh? There's always these weird as functions in
Dire's structures are
Doters.
fortified.
We see a couple ones come every now and then. That's always interesting. And
Radiant are scanning.
this game's just starting to. You see the damage that this Ven's able to output, but it feels like this is. At least you've got a Legion who's going to be able to, you know, keep the... You've got Io and Legion that can both at least protect someone who gets jumped. But the issue is that Sven is literally all their damage, it feels like. Unless, you know, Techies has a couple mines nearby. Cuckoo's got an
Radiant's
Ags now
Mines
as
left
well.
on the
Is
bot
under
side.
attack.
Yeah, he's got an Ags. He's got that extra magic resist, which is going to be really effective. Sorry, the status resist, the magic resist coming from the Hooded Defiance, confusing me there.
Radiant's bottom tower
The,
has fallen.
The previous times
Dire's
where
top
he's
tower
had a
is
few
under
mines
attack.
expended for him, you know, just the fact of not even needing to complete the hood. He knows he's the main one that's going in first. So all he needs
Radiant's
to do is
bottom
pop the
tower
active
is
on
under
the hood.
attack.
He's also got the passive extra
Dire's top
25%
tower
magic
is
resist.
under attack.
He's fine with it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Well, Radiant, they're going to have to do something here
Radiant's
as Tier 1
bottom tower is under attack.
going to walk up the high ground. You see Zephyr as well getting set up. He's got a
Dire's top
blink.
tower
Unfortunately,
is
it's already
under
been
attack.
used. So let's see. Fnatic are going to jump forward now, but I mean, you can't jump Cuckoo. This is like last game, how tanky Masros was on the Tidehunter, and this Cuckoo's positioning. They got to be careful because Zephyr might go forward and just set up for the Mortimer Kisses, and if Radiant can't cancel that, then they just might get shredded for the magic
Dire's
damage.
middle
Meanwhile, they are
tower is
pushing in
under
top.
attack.
It looks like that's going to force them back. A Snapfire will TP. Have a way to rejoin them, and Zephyr's stuck in here at the moment, but got his own TP, so he's out there. So they lose the tier 2. It is a lot of damage on the tier 3, and Radiant also pop Glyph as well, so you can keep that in mind. They've got the Aegis for another minute 10, and Bash is about to be picked up from the PA. Won't have it by the time the Aegis ticks out though.
Really gonna have his BKB on Carl as well, just refilling up his bottle in the base. He's got his boots to travel, so he can rejoin the team fight anytime he wants. What's coming next for Zephyr? Feels like a little while until he's got a new item. He's got the Blink Dagger, but Meteor Hammer doesn't really feel like the go this time around. Yeah, Solar Crest seems fine. Maybe a Lotus Orb.
Yeah, I was thinking Lotus, but I think it might take him too long, and this Ven's probably gonna have a BKB by then, right? I guess the armor's really nice, and you still the Dragonite too. And
Well, the
gets rid of
thing
silence.
is, with the
Bubble up.
they're actually
Raven
going in
sends
onto the Sven.
Cuckoo. Mastros gonna give them the protection, the press attack. Zephyr on top of the back line as well with the overgrowth onto 3. But Raven's gonna try and look to turn. Where's the Mortimer Kiss? Is gonna come a little bit too late without the stump, and Sven is in trouble. Jackie directly on top, and the Phantom Assassin is just going to work. Fnatic, they'll lose 2, and they don't find any kills. Very nicely done from the side of Die. They're going to be able to transition this
Radiant's
potentially
middle
into the tier
tower is
2 if they
under attack.
wanted, even though Aegis has expired.
No Sven, no mines, no worries. A nice little Venn diagram there beneath the tier 2 tower, but I don't know, I still feel like, yes, it might take him a while, but the Lotus is a really
Radiant's
good
middle
item
tower
against this
is
Sven.
under attack.
You obviously want to have it on whoever Sven's going to be jumping so that he gets it reflected back into him, and then even if he builds the
Radiant's
BKB,
middle tower
that
has
allows
fallen.
you to then do the follow-up, so you're blinking in and using the overgrowth beyond that. It means that Fnatic need to be perfectly on point with saving the press the attack until that point.
See, they're just continuing to gather the map control. I mean, again, it's just this game feels like it's all on the Sven at the moment, but PA is just so farmed, and this is usually you see a Sven is actually going to be on top of the Phantom Assassin just because he has this innate farming mechanic. As Carl's in trouble, although just has the BKB delivered, so pops that one. It is the 10-second duration, unfortunately, but you know, Dari gonna get 4 bounty runes across the map, and we'll be able to shove in top, and that's gonna be their next objective to claim.
Got a 4-man smoke coming through again. If it doesn't succeed underneath your tier 2
are
tower, let's
scanning.
try it somewhere else. They're going to find Jackie.
Go, this is a big target to be able to bring down. Let's see if they can chain lock him before the BKB. Jules going to fly now with the overgrowth as well, but Phantom Assassin will end up falling. Very nicely done. T1, they don't really have any of this saving potential like Fnatic do, so they're going to try and continue chasing for more as Whitemon stunned up on the high ground. And this was a nice move up from Fnatic. Finally, they get something, and also a dual victory for Mastros. He's on 30 damage now.
Oof. It's a little low, we'll be real. Oh, who are they going for?
Oh.
They're finding Carl here, perhaps?
I know the BKB is on cooldown, but I mean, again, you can't relocate like that without a setup.
No. Or at least without the axe. You just don't have the gap close.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
At least this is going to delay this a decent amount for Sven to be able to find some farm. He's almost got the Assault Cuirass completed, so the extra armor is going to be very important considering the minus armor that T1 have.
And it's just the nature of split push as much as possible on Carl here. He's nearly hitting up onto his level 18 as well, so the Mortimer's Kisses damage is going to increase even further. Only the slow as well, really effective when you've got something like the Dream Protector that requires everyone to still be grouped around the same sort of space. And you know, Overgrowth, it was changed a while ago, but now that it is, again, doing damage per second, really effective as well.
Yeah, they've got more of this kind of wombo combo that we can see with the double team fight. Fnatic. Moment though, they are kind of fading up top. They got a bit of a Tinker ward and also a nice lane ward as well, further pushed up. But this is just time where Sven's actually not hitting any creeps to keep in mind.
And Zephyr's Spidey senses are tingling. You would think that, you know, the wave all the way pushed in nearly at his base, you would want to stick around, but he's just like, you know what, something's up. I don't want to be any part of that.
Well, bot shoved in, no one's taking it. You see, they are pinging out top. It looks like Carl is going to go all the way back and take it once it's inside the base here. But they also have this deep observe ward near the triangle area, which didn't see anyone until now. So they see Moon. Trying to scout out and get some vision down. Roche is going to be up in about 50 seconds here. This is giving Jab some time to set up the mines, but haven't really felt as much impact on the techie so far with how he's been able to position his ultimates and even the remote moans as well. He's got none in Roche, so they won't have any vision. Is actually tree. All right, well, there's all the mines.
No such thing as too much damage.
Oh, I hate this hero so much. I found a telescope, which is going to be quite nice for the techies. I guess he wants to hold the Philosopher's Stone at least until he's got his Aghanim Scepter, not too far away.
I was told there'd be a mushroom cloud.
Mushroom cloud. All right, what do we got? So Roche going to be up in, here we go, 5 seconds now. So we'll see if Jab's going to be able to get set up and place some mines around this high ground just in case they can bait the fight back. But Whitemon's already scouted this out. And Dire are going to take it so goddamn fast. So Radiant, they've always got to keep this one in mind here. Because it's falling. And again, Techie's having no mines in there already. This means they've got no vision and unaware that it's occurring.
Roshan
See
has
you later.
fallen
Who are they
to the
giving the
back.
cheese to? Looks like Cuckoo's going to be the one holding it for now. Oh.
Bubble up. Jabs. They actually want to try and find the backline. Cuckoo.
Oh.
Two-man stun with the Mortimer Kisses. Jabs. Nicely done as they're going to be able to
What a
bring down
spit.
DJ And now Raven as well, he's in trouble. He doesn't have the IO and also no buyback available here. So with the bash dominating for Cuckoo. Oh man, just Carl on point with the gobble up, and it's just too much for them to handle right now. He's only down for 45, but they're going to shred through some of the objectives here.
All the mines get blown up. Cuckoo doesn't really care all that much. He's got the cheese ready to use for himself.
Radiant structures.
At least they got repair kit. That's repair kit and glyph always going to feel kind of nice. Unfortunately, they're just going to leave the lane though. It was, man, remember repair kit didn't have a cooldown, how busted that item was?
It's like they're picking out a little bit. Cuckoo's still holding on to that gem, so he knows that they can't be diving all too deep. You can tell Moon's like, come on. Come on, you know you want a Blink Strike on top of me.
See if Mastros wants to jump as well, but these are pretty hard heroes to be able to bring down. Cuckoo got 57 HP regen at the moment. They can even have Zephyr counter initiate as well. And Carl's not grouped up with them just yet. Like he's trying to find the bounties instead, but Sven back alive. Let's see how they can hold the high ground here if T1 want to stand their ground. Cuckoo's a little bit out of mana. And you see this Centaur Conquer as well from Whitemon, really just doing a good job of being able to send it directly on the back, trying to find where the mines are set up. But they've got a DD to claim, so Jack is walking over. Still not the level 25 just yet. I mean, it's very early, but you know, it's the highest level in the game. See if he's able to hit that at a relatively decent timing here where he can really put the pressure on with that extra buff up.
It's just expired, but where DJ is right now, that's where Whitemon had previously just placed the Observer Ward, the one that allowed them to immediately follow up from that Roche, the perfect gobble up spit. So Whitemon, he is styling this game, and it's very rare that you can do that from a POS 5, but he is doing absolutely everything that you could possibly want. Securing the laning stage, making sure that the techies isn't a factor, giving information. What else could you possibly want?
Yeah, he's. I've been really impressed with how he's been performing so far throughout this game. It's just been a clinic from the Enchantress, really making the techies not feel as useful as what we've seen on some occasions. But they're just gonna walk back in. They smoked up, unable to get the opener. Techies has the Aghanims now as well, so we'll see if this is gonna be an extra buff up where he can kind of drop the mines and they won't be able to get the ultimates. But Moon's slowly getting chipped down here with the crit. Now they can move forward with the gobble up. Moon is going to pay the price now. Instead they go to Techies, just shreds them down. They will still end up falling, so Carl's going to pay the price. Yeah, I mean, they definitely knew the mines were there as well, considering previously they were already trying to kill it off, but it doesn't care. It looks like they're going to try and force some buybacks here as Jackie, he's still got the double damage rune to utilize Radiant. They're trying to shove in top, and they're going to try and attempt the base race here. We could see it coming through. Radiant with the buybacks coming up. Meanwhile, inside the base, though, Leech going to pay the price. Zephyr with the blink forward, the overgrowth as well. Jackie trying to go to work with the BKB pop, a couple of bashes, more kills as well. They're going to be careful. Sven's going to end up falling, and they'll deal with the rest. Io down, no buyback, and T1. They tie up the best of two here. Unfortunately for Fnatic, we will
Get out
not
of here,
see.
Techies. Get in the bin. Oh, thank you, T1. Hopefully we never see this hero again.
Yeah, it always feels good when a tech is just has absolutely no impact. Now it's gonna maybe make them think otherwise about picking it up.
But just as well as Fnatic played game number 1, T1, they bring it back, 1-1 scoreline. I believe that's 4-2 now for them, but Fnatic 2-4, not amazing, but not as horrible as it could have been.
Yeah, at least they're going to be able to take. They tie up the series against one of the teams you would expect to finish towards the top stages of the groups, probably one of the better teams in the group. So at least they're able to tie it up, hoping for a little bit better of an outcome. But nonetheless, we see just again a good performance from T1. They kind of mirror that game one, but Fnatic played almost pretty flawless, and T1 they have an incredible game here. Just you highlighted towards the end how Whitemon was playing, and I want to give once again just big props to the Enchantress, just doing everything that was required of him this game. The laning stage prowess and just the nuisance, the vision that they were able to provide with the stacks in the jungle, and just kind of scouting out when they were farming those as well.
Even the damage. He's got a Chrysalis, for God's sake, and he did 17k damage.
Did he get the Chrysalis? What the heck? Just at the very end? Yeah, it must be.
Okay.
So funny.
He had the dual victory damage as well, which obviously is one of the extra benefits of A, being an Enchantress, B, having the Nature's Attendants, and C, you also had the Tree and Protector Living Armor helping him out some of the time. And then worst case scenario, we saw a couple of times, Gobble Up, really effective. So nicely done by T1. looks like the stonk market doesn't know shit, and well, it's going to be a nice 1-1 victory as we move on to our next series. What do we got here? We have Motivate against TNC. I'm
So-
pretty hyped, like both of these teams.
Yeah, this is going to be another incredible matchup here. Currently, TNC sitting 3-1 and Motivate are 1-3. So we're going to see if they're going to be able to position themselves a little bit better in the groups. But another incredibly hyped series. We're going to take a bit of a break and see how that next one's going to end up faring. We'll be back shortly, guys.